He's not a voice actor. He's actually here, but we couldn't get the camera going. Valtteri Botas, thank you for joining us on Nailing the Apex today. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm good, thanks. I've been looking forward to this chat, actually.
Oh, really? Really? Is he lying to us?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You never know, man.
Well, I can't look you in the eye and find out, Valtteri. So, Tim, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, no, Valtteri, thanks very much for taking the time, man. We really appreciate it. You got Imola coming up this weekend. Upgrades coming to the car. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because I think it's to fix the some of the pit stop issues, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, we've got some new stuff for Imola, and finally should be a proper fix for the issues we had with the pit stops. So obviously, we still keep working on the consistency, but at least the same issues that we've had before, that should be gone now. And I'm sure the pit crew will gain more confidence, and that way we'll get better and more consistent. But also for the car itself, we've got some aero upgrades, which is very much needed, in a tight field. So looking forward.
Valtteri, it's got to be frustrating as a driver when those types of issues arise. But you seem to be somebody who, you've seen a lot of seasons of F1. You seem to be very calm and collected about everything that's gone on in that. How do you maintain your composure? And for the younger members of your team, what do you say to them when they're frustrated?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I do feel stuff. Maybe sometimes it doesn't show up from the outside, but I always, I don't know. I was taught by my parents to, always act respectively, and obviously, like shouting at people or going crazy doesn't always help things. It can make things worse. So I try to keep my cool when I can. And obviously, like when mistakes happen, then the support is so important. And I've known that from my career, like if I do a mistake and if team members show respect and support, it makes a huge difference on overcoming those issues. So that's why I try to apply the same. If somebody makes a mistake, that's when they need the support to get back up and to gain that confidence.
You're doing this interview from Sauber's home base. I believe you were just in California doing a gravel race on your bike. That time change, man? How are you able to adapt to that? Because it kind of feels like you were just in California like a few days ago.
Yeah, true. It was a few days ago, but all good. I'm actually good with the traveling and jet lag. I'm lucky that I always sleep good quality sleep, because in the end, that's, if you can still sleep at nights, then you can do well. So I'm okay, and we still have a few days for Imola, so no problem. Just plenty of coffee in the mornings and a bit of bike riding, and good to go.
Do you have oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was actually just want to follow up. I want to know how the gravel race went.
Yeah,
it was good. It was like super beautiful. It's in a place called Ukiah in the Northern California. Tough course, like pretty bumpy ride, 122 kilometers and about 2,500 meters of elevation gain.
Ooh,
so
wow.
It was solid day out. It was like 4 hours, 40 minutes on the bike. I was 11th in my category, which I take it. I was happy with my ride. So it was good fun.
Are you as competitive in that as you are in Formula One? And I asked that. I asked that with the asterisks of, it's something that is, I think, for you, relatively new. Are you looking at that 11th place and go, next time I want to improve on that?
Yeah, of course. For me, it's whatever I do. If I do properly, I always want to see progress and make gains and become better. So of course, F1 is by far the main thing, but cycling is like, when I have time, my time off, then it's another passion that I like to follow. And yes, if I'm starting an event or a race on a bike, of course it's full gas, like with anything. So
I like that.
I got so many cycling questions because I'm a huge cycling nerd, Valtteri. But you have a race coming. Is it in June? There's a gravel race in Finland that you're doing that's like extremely long.
Yeah, it's a second edition of Finland Gravel that we're organizing with my partner Tiffany. And also we've got Amy Charity on board, who's organizing this famous event in Steamboat Springs called SPT. So yeah, second edition of that event on June 15th. We still got some spots left. There's like 3 different distances. So there's everything for everyone. If you just want to go for, a 40-kilometer ride, enjoy the views, join us. Or if you want to race the long course, which is 177K, go for it. So It's a nice event, and highly recommend if anyone wants to see Finland, that's the place and time to do it.
177K on gravel. How long does that take?
It's going to take quite a few hours, but I'm still, because the middle distance is like 110. So I'm still deciding probably on the day how I feel, if I do the long one or the middle one.
Okay. Oh, you should do a 24-hour mountain bike race, man. That's what you should do.
24 hours.
Yeah, no, they've got them. They've got them here in Canada. They're. I've done one 24-hour mountain bike race. It's called the Summer Solstice. It's awesome.
Yeah,
next level.
Yeah, well, and Valtteri, I love that you're like, oh, it'd take quite a few hours. I'm like, that would take me quite a few days. I'm not gonna lie, that would be I'd be dead last, and it would be a lot of work.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the speed.
Yes. So I looking at the calendar here, you're going to Imola. This is a track that really Formula One hadn't been back to since 2006. Obviously, it came back during the pandemic. It's a track that offers a lot of high speed. What do you look forward to with tracks like this? And when you're preparing for this weekend, what's on your mind in terms of, okay, I got to get ready for this or for that? Are there parts of this track that the average person like ourselves just doesn't know about, or are they trickier than usual? What stands out about this race?
It's really nice track. I enjoy it. It's challenging. It's like proper old school track. You mentioned high speeds. It's quite technical. There's lots of like chicanes and direction changes and stuff. And yeah, you need to be really precise on this track, which I like. And yeah, it's quite narrow and everything. There's some elevation change. So it's a good one. It's not an easy track to overtake, but it's a challenge, especially in the qualifying is awesome. And such a legacy and history as well, what it holds. Yeah, so it's, and no doubt the Italian fans are going to be crazy again, and there's going to be great atmosphere.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Italian fans, the Tifosi, and just general Italian race fans? They seem to be second to none in terms of just the spirit they bring to the track. Can you hear them when you're in the car? Do you look forward to the weekends like this?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of energy. They are so passionate over in Italy, and obviously, yeah, mainly for Ferrari, but had the privilege to drive for Alfa Romeo in 2022, which we had huge support. And yeah, they're loud, but no, you still can't hear them in the car. but you definitely feel the energy and around the whole weekend when you're commuting to the track and stuff. That it's lots of passion in there.
Just want to take a look at next season for you, Valtteri, like in your plans and what you want to do. So for next year, obviously, you're out of contract at the end of this year. Are you actively looking at other teams at the moment, or are you thinking of doing stuff outside of Formula One?
Yeah, it's quite interesting times at the moment, I must admit. Nothing is still being fixed for next year, but F1 is definitely the category I will be in. But of the team, with which team, that's still TPC. There's many factors, obviously, and of course, discussing with the current team, but other teams as well. And yeah, some things are starting to go forward, but let's see. Should be good, should be interesting next few weeks. And I'm actually quite glad you didn't see me now, because I can kind of say what I want.
I know. I was just gonna say.
So yeah, so you figure it out.
We can't read your face. We can't, deduce anything. Like we could do a whole hour doing reactions to your answers here, and we're not going to be able to do that. So
yeah,
that's great.
Maybe the camera issue was on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I'm going to have to call the Sauber headquarters there and say, "What the heck, guys?"
Yeah.
When you look at like the seats that are available, I mean, I have to ask you, is Mercedes a spot that, you would covet on returning? Like, is that a place you would want to go back to, or are there other teams that you're looking a little more heavily into?
I'll just say that anything is possible at this point, and everything is still wide open. So there's many still pieces on the market, driver market, that needs to fall into places. But yeah, I wouldn't count any option off at the moment, let's say. And I'm open to many different things, but I also need to figure out what do I actually really want. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Well, what do you want? What are you looking for? And generally speaking, obviously, it doesn't have to be specific to team. I'm just talking about you personally. You've been in this sport a long time. You've got more races than most drivers that have ever raced. You've been extraordinarily successful. What do you want at this point in your career?
Of course, as a driver, like anyone, I want to get closer to the top. I want to get to be able to get better and better results. I want to see progress, and at this point, I still have many years ahead of me. So I want a team that can commit to many years ahead. A team that has respect for me and knows my skills and knows what I can contribute to the team and to the sport. And a good atmosphere. I would say those are kind of the main things that I want. But yeah, I'm still fully committed, and no outside things planned outside of F1. So
we have a bunch of questions for you from fans and stuff too, Valtteri, and there's a good one here from a guy by the name of Mike Schmidt, and he's asking, essentially saying, seeing Valtteri express so much character. So commercials, you did an awesome commercial with Uber in Australia.
It was awesome.
It was great. Has been such a breath of fresh air. He said, has joining Sauber allowed him to explore more of these avenues compared to when he was at Mercedes?
I think it's a combination of, probably change of atmosphere, kind of, got out of some pressure, but then also just experience, age, allowing myself to be just myself and not taking myself too seriously. Maybe being less afraid of, showing who I am, stuff like that. I don't know. And yeah, I'm just really comfortable within myself and really happy to make jokes about myself. So yeah, I think that's that.
Well, I got to tell you, you're the character and personality that we've seen come out it's great for not just for us as viewers, but I think it's great for the sport. Whenever you see drivers step out and do the things that you've been doing, obviously the marketability goes up. There's like a monetary aspect to that, but also it's just you get to see a little bit more of the person that Valtteri Bottas is, and I think that's been so cool to see recently. And
it's nice to share stuff that what I do and who I actually am, and I think it's also very easy to share stuff like when you're just who you are, So it's pretty simple, and I enjoy it.
And not to interrupt the listener questions here, Tim, but I do want to ask Valtteri, because when we talk about who you are, one of the things that you are known for is a good cup of coffee, right? You like a good. Is there a brand? Is there a type of coffee? Is there a region of the world? Is that like how specific do you get with your coffee? Because you're very well known for that.
Plug your own coffee is basically what Adam is saying.
Exactly. It's a great chance to advertise the Kahiwa coffee roasters. We deliver worldwide, etc. So check out the website. And we have a range of coffees from all around the world with different taste profiles, and I love all of them. Enjoy.
Is there a promo code you can offer too? Because
so, I can make up one.
Okay, all right. Being an owner.
Yeah, I'll send you a message later.
Okay, great. That sounds awesome.
Awesome.
Tim,
Adam,
do we have any other questions?
Oh, Adam, do you want to talk hockey? Because we got some. God,
can we bring up hockey? Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, we got hockey questions. Okay. So from @BleedingTeal, they want to know: are you paying attention to the NHL playoffs or the Men's World Hockey Championship?
The time zone, I'm at the moment definitely more the Men's World Hockey Championship, which is just kind of starting to kick off. But it's a cool tournament because it really is pretty brutal. Some of the games soon it will decide like you're either in or out. So it's always good to watch. And lately Finland has been doing pretty good. So of course, high hopes for this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, Valtteri, Finland is a country that, relative to its size, athletically really punches above its weight in certain sports. Like, I mean, obviously, I was going to ask you about this anyway, but obviously in hockey, it does extraordinarily well. In motor racing, it does extraordinarily well too. But you come from a, long procession of very good Finnish drivers. What do you attribute that to? Is there something about, like, are Finns generally just extremely competitive? What is it about Finland that allows it to be able to do that?
I think in motorsports, I think it's the culture. Like when I was growing up and started doing some go-karting, we had a couple of drivers in F1, and they were my heroes, and I wanted to be like them, especially Mika Häkkinen at the time. So for me, it was that culture, and also the level of motorsport is really high. So it's been just a traditional sport for a long time. And yeah, then obviously at some winter sport, it kind of makes sense because we have proper winters. So
you sure do.
Yeah. Also as a kid, I just in the winters I played ice hockey. Summers I drove go-karts. So that was my childhood. So yeah, those two things is quite typical for a kid to do actually.
And do you remember? And this is going to sound ridiculous, but I like asking people. Do you remember your first win as a driver?
Yeah, I do. It was my second race with my go-kart in 1996.
Okay, and was this were you sitting on pole, or was this a come from behind?
That one actually I don't remember. I just remember crossing the line. I was 6 years old, so yeah.
6 years old, and you remember that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow. That's very cool.
Got a few more for you, Valtteri, and then we'll let you go. We appreciate you taking the time to do this with us.
We do.
From Janet Camilleri over on Instagram, she asks, what advice would you give Charles Leclerc on having Lewis Hamilton as a teammate?
Yeah, for sure. Like when he gets to know Lewis, I'm sure he will have lots of respect. He's actually really nice human being. Can be a really good team player. Gives great contribution to the team. But he will also learn that Lewis is extremely fast and consistent. Rarely does mistakes. So yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't need to give any advice to Charles. He's grown-up man, and he's got some experience already. He's well settled in the team, so I think they'll be just fine as teammates. But yeah, Lewis will give him a good ride, no doubt.
Juso asks, how much of the Lahti Pelicans games have you been able to watch this year?
So this year, we actually had a decent season. We got into the playoffs finals, and unfortunately got the second place, but still, I mean, for a team the size of the team that Pelicans is, and the organization, it's amazing result, second year in a row. So I did watch a few games live, but a bit more online, obviously, with my traveling schedule.
Adam, wow. we have a ton of questions more, but I was going to say Adam is a huge hockey guy, so I just figured he'd want to ask you all the hockey questions in the world.
I do want to know if there. I'll ask one more, then we'll get back to the listener questions. Who was your favorite hockey player growing up?
My favorite hockey player growing up was I would say Saku Koivu. Saku Koivu, who played for Montreal. He went through cancer, recovered, and still played like a hero. So it was a great story as well. And but then also Teemu Selänne, Finnish guy. The Finnish Flash, as they say. So
that's right.
A bit of a legend. Yeah.
Have you gotten to meet Teemu? Because he's come to some F1 races. Like I saw him in the paddock in Texas last year.
I've seen him a couple of times and know him a little bit now. So he's a cool guy. Still living the life to the fullest, and he had amazing career. So he's got some great hockey stories, and I always keep asking some questions. So he's a nice guy, and I think you'll see him around in some of the races again.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Valtteri, you know what? You've been so gracious with your time. If you are in fact Valtteri, we can't really verify that, but no, I'm kidding. But we do. I just want to say, I want to wish you the best of luck this weekend and for the remainder of the season. And we hope to get to talk to you again, because this was really great, and we're rooting for you.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. And yeah, sure. Give me a call and let's have a chat.
Okay.
Thanks again, Valtteri. Appreciate it.